Well, we're up north and we're in not that great of weather, but just to let you know what's all going on here. A lot of the projects have been done on this, and change of attitude. He's gonna go with a skidster, and this will be out of here, and then the skidster is gonna be taken over, and it's a lot smaller.
We're spending more time working on this than getting work done with it, so it's going down the road. There's that drive shaft in there for the PTO.
But whoever gets it doesn't have to deal with what we did, and it's got wheels, tires, hydraulics, engine's running great, there's nothing leaking. John Deere skidster, and it's fantastic. It's air conditioned inside, it's got 2 joysticks, easy to control, heater, we got attachments for it.
This is that factory replacement block for the AMC 343. This is a 70 442 455. This is a 72 Pontiac 400, and that's the 73 442 350. And all the VINs are stamped in these things, except for this block here. Partial VIN stamped in that tranny as well. We cleaned out a spot in the barn. We'll show you that in a minute. We're gonna try to get this plow out of here. This is actually for this John Deere tractor.
This year, we don't even have time to really work on the boat. After bashing around out on the lake, something is making a noise, and we gotta tear the engine down to even ride it again. So we don't have time to work on this. We're gonna concentrate on that 442, and it'll be a while before we get another video off of this boat. Saga of the barn continues. We constantly gotta keep working on stuff, shuffling things around so we can get things organized and put the tools away in the barn, plus work on the structure of the barn. So we're just moving the parts that are useless and we're never gonna use into the side of the barn that's kind of useless. This used to have like cows and these stanchions, and it's too small to get anything big in here, so we're sliding all this lumber and metal and stuff over here, and then we'll show you where we got places opened up. Everybody knows what this is. When a guy has a stud on an air cleaner too long and he closes it, and it's, oh no! You'll see that this whole place is just filled with junk and everything, and we started off getting everything out, leveled the ground, put stone in here, and we dumped some things off here, but today we want to organize everything. We got old Dumpy out here, and sits in the barn. That's nice because you can just pull up, throw a bunch of stuff in there, and get rid of it in the pit that we have. And then this thing's just dedicated to knocking down the fields when the grass gets really high. So there's many things that we don't plan on ever using, but the owner would like to keep them. They bought everything for this tractor. This sickle bar is for doing ditches, and this is for planting corn, I think, and there's a bunch of other stuff. Once we get this all organized, we would like to have just regular garage doors, and you could just pull in, hitch up to your attachment, take off, make it easier to work on stuff. And it's kind of dangerous.
Well, it's actually too fast for how it steers, and then it's got really long chains around the wheels, and then the idler pulley, I think on both sides, are bent in. So it needs some welding work to straighten that, to keep the chain on.
And you can see how the foundation is still crumbled out. We got to get this thing shored up before we even attempt to do anything else so that it doesn't kick out. We had it on those sonic tubes, filled them up with concrete, put the beams on there, trying to level it ever so much, a little bit at a time. And then we got big concrete blocks that we're gonna put along the backside.
We're going to have to make a trip to the dump with all this crap. Get all this hay out of here. There's like a trolley across the top of this barn. It's like some sort of fork attachment.
Well, that's all you did is you just kept the cows back in the day eating hay and then delivering milk and keep them out of the elements, and we don't need that stuff anymore, so we can get that all out.
All right, we're gonna take this fence down. I think someone attempted to grow grapes or something here. You want to angle mow this grass all the way to the back corner here.
My 1911 45 caliber American Titan made in the Philippines snub nose pistol. Never shot it before in my life.
See if we can hit the plate. Well, you hit every time there or what? Seems fairly accurate for a pistol.
We're just gonna start eliminating all these old posts with barbed wire and stuff, so nobody's riding at night and running us into barbed wire.
Just a couple of minutes to clean up there.
The reason you want to get this old barbed wire out of it, a lot of the grass is growing over it and stuff. You don't see it, but when we were like 14 years old, I was on the back of my buddy's Skidoo. There were trails you were supposed to stay on. And my buddy's going, we'll cut him off at the pass. And he starts flying across this farmer's field, and then the skis hooked barbed wire that was laid down, came up over the cab, over the windshield, hit him in the lip, and all I know is that the snowmobile kept going. I had this guy land on top of me, and it was dark out, it was nighttime, and the blood was just gushing out of his face. And I took a bunch of snow, and I jammed it on his face, trying to get it cold and coagulate. So I had to get this guy's snowmobile going again, get him back, and his mom is just screaming and crying. We had to haul him to the hospital. He had 120 stitches holding his upper lip. Now he's got a mustache, you can't see it.
Probably got about 300 or 400 yards more of fence we gotta take down. I'm trying to get these posts out in one piece.
Honey, this is just for you, showing how much fun we're having playing with big machines and pulling posts and things.
Bit of open borders. You can see we still got some fence line going down that way, but it's getting so wet that we'll probably get the machine stuck. But it looks a lot better just opening it up this much. Digging, there was a garter snake and he grabbed it. These things are bizarre. You can freeze them and they'll end up thawing out and they just come back to life. And this is the only snake that lays babies. Most snakes lay eggs.
Here's our amateur job of moving that pile of dirt. It's pretty clumpy.
We're just firing up the old pumpkin. This is the one that we had to get carb cleaned up, brakes all done. And we just use it for jockeying stuff around because it's got a trailer hitch on it. And we'll move the boat out.
Yeah, this was left behind. The motor is rebuilt, so it runs pretty good, and then it just sat.
It's just rusting.
Yeah, the body was done before it got parked, but the body work they did is gone. The floors are gone.
But she fires up each time. It runs great. Idle's a little high.
Yeah, I just put a master cylinder in it. Put it all Nikon brake lines front to back. We're trying to make room in the barn to stick this thing so it's not in the sun anymore. 1978. We got a 100-foot chunk of land here that we got to clear for a farmer to to get his,
I'm going over this one.
sure. We'll just rip it out. Farmer wants to get his tractor back here to work this, so we got to do something with this. This used to be a field back here that was farmed, and the whole tree line back there is growing up like maybe 500 yards from where the field ends. So all that stuff's got to come out. But we want to get the tax base down on this property as farmland. So we need to clean this up so it's more appealing for a farmer to farm it. This truck's got an open rear end and street tires on it. It gets some momentum going.
And you want me to go that way?
Yeah, we'll go through that hole over there.
Oh, this is gonna be rough.
Oh, yeah, the furrows are still in this field from the last time it was plowed.
I have friends that buy brand new Jeeps, and this is what they do for four-wheeling. I'm like, well, you could do this with a car.
What's that wrong? The topography of this land has big rocks everywhere.
Yeah, we're near Lake Michigan, so there's big boulders from the glacial recession. So some you can't move, and it would be nice to have a big knocker and bust them up. But you'll see old farm equipment back here. And we blazed a trail through the woods. So when you take the four-wheeler, you go around the outside boundary and then you come back through the woods and you're tight in between trees. If you make a mistake, you'll end up getting hurt.
We got the battery in this. We got someone who's going to take it for a ride here. Alright, drive around the left side of that cabin. Alright. And around the far side of the pit, because there's a septic over there.
Okay, so here is a, it's from Bond Arms. So it's basically it's a Colt 45 long, but it also shoots a 410 shotgun shell. So you can, put your shotgun shell there, you can put your Colt 45 long there, and and then that's that. So
Can you decide which one goes off?
yeah, well, no. So what it does is, okay, make sure clear, everything's clear. So you have to. This is one that you have to cock every time, So you can. This will fire up. That one will fire the second one.
Do that.
So that's the story there. 245 longs, but these are not ACPs, they're longs. So there's a different, and the ammo right now is really expensive. So each one of these cost me about 70 cents. The Ace of Spades, they make like a
main edition.
yeah, no, but yeah, and you can see also there too. It's pretty cool. Here's a Mossberg 500 with all the everything to boot. So beautiful. So this will take out pretty much anything we need to.
Jesus, that's loud.
Holy shit, that was loud. All right. Oh my god.
So I was just brush hogging with this thing, and I hit a brick, and we had a aluminum adapter. I think that's like an 1.1/8 to 1 3/8 or something like that. Just blew that all to hell. But it doesn't matter because we have a overrun PTO adapter to convert the splines. At the end with the drive shaft, and it looks like it's steel with an aluminum casing. Just sheared it. And here, I think the tin goes in where the Zerk is. So I'm gonna take them Zerks out. I had to shorten this PTO shaft by like an inch to fit that thing. When I push in the clutch and put it in gear, it should not lurch the tractor forward. It's a 250. Oh, is it? Yeah, it rips.
Yeah, they say the bigger the fire, the faster it burns up.
Our fire got away from us here. Started spreading all around all by itself. So we kind of have this back under control. And here's the locals. What do you think of that thing?
Oh my goodness, I was worried. I was sitting in my porch and I thought, oh my gosh, it's out of control. And I see you guys. I'm like, okay, they're not looking too worried. So it must be in control.